So very important sessions. Every session is important. Yes. So let me start. Did you think, speak, and act out of love, kindness, peace, and happiness last week? You see the smile on Brad. Did you not engage in any activity? Well, any activity can be classified now thought, speech, and action that caused you any discomfort, fear, anxiety, attachment. Why are you checking us? We are intelligent people. No doubt, we all are intelligent. So from today, I'm saying that we are starting very important aspects, what we have learned, and then we can go a little deeper. So it will also join with the Monday, Thursdays, and Saturdays session. So did you think, speak, and act out of love, kindness, peace, and happiness last week? Did you not engage in any activity? Any activity means thought, speech, and action caused by the discomfort, fear, anxiety, reaction, and attachment last week. Don't answer me. Otherwise, you'll say, oh, do you think that we are kids? We are not going to answer you. So did you sleep well? Did you spoke well? Did you act well? Did you experience the sense of unhappiness, dissatisfaction, and fears last week? If not, then you are a seeker. You are the highest level of a seeker. Then the knowledge alone can work. Do you see that? This is how the master, Mondays and Thursdays session are combined. I use different text, different principles from many of these texts together and bring for you. So if that is the state, then obviously, otherwise, so if we are the highest level of a seeker, then only listening, learning, 2LCRP will work, 100%. And you will be able to change your behavior and attitude. So what we experience day by day, hour by hour, moment by moment, real self-seeker, mentally living from moment to moment based on these principles. Do you remember Stephen asked me, I sent in his email, there are 4 powers of the intellect. The power of faith. How it comes? By continuously listening, learning, contemplation, reflection, and practice. Power of decision or a choice we have chosen because of the faith. What faith is within me. Now you come, your mind is internally reacting. The face expression changes. No. Let me know. I will remain a seeker. Choice. Power to hold on to their choice. I have a power inside me to hold on to that choice. And the 4th power to control or regulate our all actions, thought, speech, and action. That will even take care of your blood pressure. Ashok didn't smile yet. 4 powers lead to 4 types of intellect. Do you still remember? 4 types of 4 powers. So it refines and our intellect shines with the righteous intellect to live our life daily in personal, professional, social life Dispassion intellect, the mind remains, at calm. It is not at all concerned about attachment and detachment. I'm feeling lonely because there is an expectation from outside. That's why I feel lonely. So dispassion intellect, love intellect, that is little typical, that I don't love my imaginary ego. I love the entire existence. Then Master says, only listening to the teacher will awaken us. So again, I'm repeating, do I apply it in daily life? My intellect lives in the state with the four powers. Life will change. I apply when I think to meditate only. And then, then the mind moves to live as a pleasure seeker. And that pleasure seeker has an element of ego. Ego has a preference. Dispassion intellect, gone. Love for the existence, gone. Righteous intellect, gone. Huh? You see that you have to combine these four powers of intellect and four different types of intellect. All four powers of the intellect will work with these four different types of intellect. Huh? Are you getting it? I believe so. So I reacted, became angry because that is not. No, I have a right to be angry. Imaginary ego. I keep my right reserved to be attached, detached, blame, and complain. So we are not doing anything. We simply hear, we do it. We have destroyed these four powers and four types of intellect. Are you clear about the four powers and four types of intellect? Righteous intellect. In my personal, professional, social activities, I remember, and four powers of the intellect, I use it. I remember that. No, I'm angry. Can I remember? The moment you remember, your anger will go away. Now I'm in stress. Remember it. Your stress will go away. That very suffering enters in our life with an imaginary I in daily life with attachment, with three diseases of the mind. Do you still remember the three diseases? Now I know I'm repeating. I know you all remember attachment and detachment, sorrow and suffering, and delusion. Imaginary I is a creation of that. So now we will, with that basic understanding, we can go deeper. What exactly is the desire, burning desire for freedom? That results into the highest state of meditation. So, burning desire for freedom, does your mind think, I desire for permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom? Or is your mind thinking, no, I have to get rid of this unhappiness, dissatisfaction? There are two parts. Do you think? You're thinking the way you think. No, I do not get the time to think about this. I wake up in the morning, I'm excited, I'm fully busy. That's why I'm awful. I will remain awful. I'm doing the same thing again and again and not able to change my mind. Imaginary I with the desire, seeking to remove unhappiness, fear from the world outside will never happen. What exactly is the yearning aspiration for freedom? That I should desire. I desire peace and happiness. You wake up in the morning, and that's why we have a tradition that early in the morning we should chant some mantra, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. let these thoughts enter into my mind. Don't tell me, but what was the first thought that came to your mind when you woke up in the morning? That decides, that tells you where you are. Are you a seeker or not? That tells you you're a seeker or not. It's not that the teacher should check, it is you have to check. It is your life. Now ask yourself how that burning, yearning aspiration for peace, permanent peace, and happiness can enter into my mind. So that is fourfold practices. What are those fourfold practices? So first we have a faith after listening, learning these gossips for so many weeks and months and years. Now that mind is settled in the intellect, which has a faith, a power to choose, power to hold on, and let me take over my life by thought, speech, and action. But how it comes? So there is a fourfold practices I'm reminding you. 2D or D squared discernment and dispassion with the six treasures. Do you remember the six treasures? Stam, Dam, Uparati, Titiksha, and faith. Faith is there. Titiksha, faith, and Samadhan. So means that calm and relaxed mind is living in a higher level of awareness. You see that why we relax in the few steps in the beginning of meditation, because we want to live into the state of the calm and relax. So what that relaxation state does, it helps me to live at a little higher level of awareness so that I can contemplate, I can reflect on it. Why I want to get rid of the attachment and detachment? Because that further takes my mind to a little higher level of awareness. No, no, I live from moment to moment. It will not work. No, I reacted, because I'm very busy. It will not work. I'm very busy because of attachment and detachment. Find out. So moksho me bhuyat iti iksha. Master says, I should think that I want permanent peace and happiness. And then see, is the mind creating any conflict? No, it is not creating a conflict. It wants to support that. Then obviously, I am ready for it. Absence of faith. Mind cannot tolerate self inquiry. I'm repeating it. Find out in your last week. Absence of faith that I talked about, the power of faith in the intellect. Huh? Here he was saying Shraddha. It is the Shraddha in Sanskrit language. Absence of faith comes by a lot of contemplation and reflection. The mind is 100% clear. So that knowledge is realized in the mind becomes the faith. So no, you wake up in the morning, I want permanent peace and happiness. So what I'm saying, absence of faith, mind cannot tolerate self-inquiry that I'm the real self. Why the mind cannot tolerate? The mind will run after the attachment and detachment, will run after the sorrow and the suffering, will continue to seek objects, things, people to remove unhappiness, objects to remove unhappiness. But that object does not contain happiness, so you will not get it. The mind will create a cycle: insecurity, dissatisfaction, unhappiness. So that is why I said fourfold practices. But again, the doubt comes how to become the highest seeker. listening, learning. Continue listening, learning until the mind changes through contemplation and reflection. The intellect results, intellect creates that faith, and then you do the practice. So, what level of a seeker we are? Highest level of a seeker, middle level, or lowest level of a seeker depends on the regular practice, discernment, and dispassion with the 66 treasures. Daily life means what your experiences in daily living by thought, by speech, by action. From waking up, welcoming the sun, not saying bad morning, eating and taking shower, every moment of your life, every moment of life. Internally, that knowledge is settled. That is what the faith is. So it is an applied faith. Huh? It is not, no, no, I have a faith in me, I will do it. No. You know it. It is an applied faith. It is an active faith. You have a sound sleep. You are the highest seeker. The moment the mind attacks, mind will attack. It also attacks me. Why? Because of trillions of impressions is already buried in the mind. But before you feel the sensation it attacks, you withdraw yourself. Why? You have a faith. You are aware. The moment the mind attacks you with the fear, insecurity, unhappiness, dissatisfaction, intellect says faith with the real self, invokes four powers of the thinking. It is gone. And if you are not a seeker, means imaginary I, imaginary desire, seeking peace from the objects, from the people in the world. What will be the result? We already know. It may be anger, fully busy, hesitation, reaction, blame, complaint, everything comes into the mind. Are you getting it? You see that I'm combining all these principles to help you gain a deeper insight. And now that you reacted today, and then you wake up in the morning, there is bound to be a bad morning. Think of it. Bound to be a worse morning. No. And then one reaction gives rise to second reaction, third, and the whole day passes in a mess. How far, how long, how far we have removed these three diseases of the mind: attachment, detachment. One, delusion. Two, someone was discussing with me, delusion, and I also discussed with the Maya with the measurement. And that measurement does not exist. Where my mind goes from moment to moment. Does it go to 2D, 6D, or 2L CRP? You're there. You're there. So we are fired. Can I say, we have an American phrase, are you fired? No, I don't have any fire in my house, so I'm not fired. So, so there is no fire. So we have an inner aspiration, intense desire for freedom from the mind. Ultimately, all that I explain can be summarized only in one phrase. I have an intense desire for freedom from the mind, not freedom for the mind. Do you see the difference? Freedom for the mind. What mind says attached, no, get attached. Then you are bound to suffer. No, I want a freedom from the mind. One question: when I would become free from the mind? That thought repeats in your mind regularly. One question: how to become free from this suffering? One question: what is preventing me? What is preventing me? The mind. One question: what I am doing to become the highest seeker at the time of the thinking and contemplation. One question: every karma is now a karma yoga. Every activity, my thought, my speech, my action. So I will not go in detail when I say karma to karma yoga. That is not the point of discussion today. So, but I just give you brief. Yoga means a state of mind, an attitude inside, an action that you do outside. It becomes karma yoga. Now, I have a burden of teaching you, it's a lot of stress. So, attitude inside, and I'm teaching you. So, it will not work. You have a reaction as an attitude in the mind, and honey says, oh, can you bring a cup of coffee? So, with that reaction attitude in the mind, you are preparing a coffee. Karma yoga at every moment in life. At every moment. You have to apply. You have to apply. So, in one phrase, so then the master says, what is this self inquiry? Huh? What is this self inquiry? Do you remember that you have a faith? Just even assume that you have a faith. Don't worry about it. You have those four powers of the intellect. You have those four types of intellect. You have been living your life. And that is why I asked you last week, what happened? Did you live into a status quo of the calmness and peace? Whenever the mind reacted, you understood it and you moved into the calmness and the peace. In that state of the intellect and the mind, Master is saying, in that state of the mind and the intellect, self-inquiry takes place. That is what we do on the Saturday session. It's a non-practice. So we are bringing them together. So here we lay a very strong foundation, and Saturday goes with that deeper state. So Master says, you are ready? Yes. The Master says, Atma Satyam Tadanya Sarvamityeti. So now I have to contemplate and reflect. What is that question? The real self alone is true, the rest are false. So, should I stop living in my day to day life? Real self is pure consciousness, it is existence, consciousness, bliss. Should I stop living? Do I remember dispassion and discernment? Self inquiry begins in that state of intellect, in that state of mind. In whatever you say, mind or intellect, now I can use the words together. That state of the mind and intellect clearly perceives what is real, what is unreal. The person is the highest level of a seeker, and the intellect lives in very higher level of extraordinary awareness that it does not allow the mind to bring any thought that causes the attachment and detachment. There is no delusion in that state. That intellect now sees the blueness of the sky. It is not true. The blueness is not there in the sky. My sense organ perceives the blueness, but my intellect knows it is not blue. Find out. Find out that state of awareness. So that awareness is inside. Water in the mirage, you see that? That intellect, four types, four powers, that perceives the real. Every time you see the sky, it is always blue. But I know it is not blue. I see in the mirage the water appears. I see the water, but it is not. Do you see the difference between the real and the unreal? Do you see? So it is internal awareness. It is the state of the mind filled with the real. So here one more point. So you see that we are going in a real journey. So when we say, okay, so we have done the fourfold practices, discernment. We are living in discernment and dispassion with those six treasures. Now we have a burning desire. Now we have a four types of intellect. We know it. We are using it in our day-to-day life. Come what may, you use the righteous intellect in your personal, professional, social life. Take one example. What happened? Your boss says you are crazy, but now you have to use the righteous intellect. What should you? How you should respond? Think of this. You are able to maintain that calmness. You are able to maintain that state of the calmness. In that state of the intellect, or you can say in that state of awareness inside, the way you see the blueness of the sky, which is not real, you also see what? Body is, I'm not the body. The mind that is obsessed and declares that I am the body is unreal. I am the body. That statement keeps the attachment, keeps the delusion inside, is unreal. No, no, you are saying that I'm not the body, then how I'm listening to you? I'm not saying that. Do you see the confusion comes? Do you see the confusion comes? No, no, no. It means, I'm the body, I'm listening through your ear, through my ears. That is a part of the body. No, I'm not saying that. So only that faith, me, or you can say that level of awareness will help us instantly recognize, oh, discernment, real is here, unreal is here. And the moment this intellect settles in discernment of the real and unreal, you are already calm. You are already in peace because real self manifests in peace and happiness. So we are bringing all these principles together, and all these principles results into what? Results into knowledge. Knowledge is awareness. Awareness is my experience. Let us start. Close your eyes. Work on this. Think of this. Eyes are closed, the body is steady, the mind is